Hey, my fans. Welcome to Favorite Movie Arena, the place where iconic moments, unforgettable characters, and cinematic game changers get the spotlight they deserve. And today, we're diving into a true powerhouse of heroism, heart, and history. Have aliens been visiting Earth for millions of years? Underscore Ancient Aliens. This episode has been covered in a series of 4 insightful videos. To understand the whole episode, make sure you have watched all 4 videos in the series. Similarly, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I guarantee your happiness, entertainment, and most importantly, hard-to-find learning coverage. Let's begin. New York City, 1976. Author and researcher Zecharia Sitchin publishes his groundbreaking work, The 12th Planet, introducing a bold and controversial theory about humanity's origins. After dedicating 30 years to the study of ancient Sumerian cuneiform tablets, Sitchin proposed that the gods of ancient Mesopotamia were not divine beings, but extraterrestrials from a distant planet called Nibiru. His translation of these ancient texts suggested that the Anunnaki, as they were known, arrived on Earth over 450,000 years ago, not to conquer, but to mine a precious resource: gold. According to Sitchin, the Anunnaki's home planet, Nibiru, was suffering from a deteriorating atmosphere, and gold was the key to saving it. This rare element could repair their damaged atmosphere, and Earth was their gold mine. However, the laborious task of mining it proved to be too much for the Anunnaki, prompting them to create a worker race, humankind. Zecharia Sitchin's interpretation of these ancient texts was nothing short of revolutionary. He claimed that the Anunnaki engineered humans, not as an act of benevolence, but out of necessity. The gods created humanity as slaves to mine the gold that would save their planet. Sitchin's theory, though met with skepticism by mainstream scholars, ignited a firestorm of interest in the possibility that extraterrestrial beings shaped the course of human history. What if the story of the Anunnaki is not just a myth passed down through the ages, but a global tale of non-human intelligences manipulating life on Earth? What if the Anunnaki weren't just concerned with gold, but were creating a base, a foothold for their operations across the stars? In the land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, the ancient Sumerians left behind the first written records in human history. These records, carved into stone tablets, tell of gods who descended from the heavens, beings that were both revered and feared. Their names: the Anunnaki. In 1842, British archaeologist Austen Henry Layard uncovered the ruins of the Great Library of Esarbanipal in Nineveh, revealing thousands of cuneiform tablets. These texts, some dating back to 3000 BC, contain some of the oldest stories of gods and men. Stories that speak of beings who came from the sky, mingled with humanity, and even played a direct role in the creation of mankind. The Sumerians believed the Anunnaki were powerful, almost godlike beings, some of whom stood nearly 8 feet tall. They possessed advanced technology, wielding weapons, wearing garments adorned with celestial symbols, and perhaps most notably, flying through the skies in what we might describe as crafts capable of defying gravity. On these ancient tablets, one can see depictions of the Tree of Life, flanked by divine beings, Anunnaki. They are shown wearing necklaces with symbols resembling stars, moons, and even what some interpret as primitive versions of modern technology, like wristwatches. These images suggest that the Anunnaki were not only deeply connected to the cosmos, but were also highly advanced in their understanding of technology. As the story goes, the Anunnaki initially attempted to mine the gold themselves, but the task proved too taxing. That's when they decided to create a new race, a worker class designed to perform this labor. According to Sumerian texts, this was no simple process. The gods worked tirelessly to shape humanity, manipulating genetic material to create beings that could serve them. Is this the true origin of mankind? Were we created in the image of the Anunnaki, not by divine intervention, but through an ancient extraterrestrial experiment? And if so, what was the real purpose of our creation? The Sumerian tales of the gods, often echoed in other ancient myths, suggest that the Anunnaki were not just creators, but teachers, imparting wisdom and technology to early human civilizations. Intriguingly, these ancient stories of gods creating mankind are echoed in other traditions, including the Bible. In the Genesis account, Adam and Eve are created in God's image, much like the Anunnaki's creation of humankind. Is it possible that the biblical story, too, has roots in the ancient Sumerian myth of divine beings shaping humanity? Today, many scholars and ancient astronaut theorists believe that the Sitchin theory offers more than just a fantastical tale. They see it as a compelling hypothesis, one that suggests our origins may not be as simple as we once thought. Were the Anunnaki a part of a greater cosmic network, traveling the stars, visiting distant planets, and leaving their mark on humanity's genetic code? The Sumerian texts continue to intrigue and mystify, with their depictions of powerful otherworldly beings who shaped the course of human history. Whether myth, history, or something in between, the story of the Anunnaki raises profound questions about who we are, where we come from, and whether our ancestors were truly the creations of gods, or something far more extraterrestrial. The journey to uncover the truth about the Anunnaki continues, offering tantalizing glimpses into a past that may be far stranger and more cosmic than we ever imagined. Ancient chronicles across the globe speak of beings descending from the sky, imparting wisdom and shaping human life. While mainstream scholars often dismiss these accounts as mythology, ancient astronaut theorists suggest that these ancient texts could point to something more extraordinary, proof of alien intervention in human evolution. Could these early cultures, separated by time and space, be referencing extraterrestrial encounters? The Sumerians were not the only culture to speak of gods bestowing knowledge upon humanity. The Quran, for instance, mentions that language itself was a gift from Allah. In the ancient Mayan Popol Vuh, the gods are credited with giving language to humanity. Similarly, ancient Egyptian texts tell of deities who granted humanity the power of communication. It seems that across all cultures, no matter the continent or the belief system, there is a consistent theme. The gods, or beings from the stars, gifted humanity with the ability to speak. But the story of humanity's connection with the stars goes beyond written records. Long before the advent of written language, our ancestors expressed themselves through symbols carved into stone, petroglyphs. Some of the oldest known petroglyphs date back 10,000 to 12,000 years, offering a tangible link to ancient communications. And these petroglyphs, found across the globe, seem to speak of something far more profound than simple artistic expression. In the American Southwest, petroglyphs etched into rock surfaces by the ancestors of the Zuni and Hopi tribes depict figures with strange, radiating halos and beings descending from the sky. These aren't just symbolic representations. They tell of star beings, extraterrestrials who arrived from the heavens in flying ships. The Hopi, in particular, have passed down stories of these Kashines, spiritual beings that came from the stars, not as gods, but as messengers, bringing advanced knowledge from distant planets. This phenomenon isn't isolated to the American Southwest. In Valcamonica, Italy, similar petroglyphs have been found. Across Asia, Brazil, and Europe, petroglyphs show strange figures and beings associated with the sky. The consistent theme across cultures is undeniable. Beings from the stars descending to Earth, offering wisdom and guidance. These connections form a pattern, one that ancient astronaut theorists believe is too significant to ignore. And then there are the Lascaux caves, located in southwestern France. Discovered in 1940, these caves contain over 17,000-year-old paintings of Ice Age animals, bison, stags, and horses. But within these ancient images is something more curious. A figure with the body of a man and the head of a bird. This being, known as a therianthrope, blends human and animal traits. Anthropologists typically explain these creatures as symbolic representations of shamanistic rituals. But what if these representations were not just symbolic? What if they were visions experienced by early humans interacting with extraterrestrial visitors? The therianthrope, with its hybrid form, is found across many ancient cultures and could represent encounters with beings that defy natural classification. The images in these caves are often tied to the rituals of shamans, who were believed to enter altered states of consciousness, experiencing visions that bridged the gap between the physical and spiritual worlds. Could these visions be more than mystical experiences? Could they be the memories of encounters with beings from other worlds? All around the world, cultures speak of beings descending from the sky. From the gods of ancient Mesopotamia to the celestial visitors of Native American tribes, the stories are strikingly similar. These beings are often depicted as wise, powerful, and possessing advanced knowledge. What if these legends aren't just myths? What if they are collective memories of humanity's first contact with extraterrestrial visitors? The evidence is compelling. Throughout human history, there are stories, images, and symbols pointing to one thing: humanity's connection to beings from the stars. Whether through ancient petroglyphs, cave art, or sacred texts, the message is clear. Humanity's development may not have been solely the result of natural evolution. Ancient astronaut theorists believe these stories are more than just folklore. They may be the key to understanding our true origins. As we explore these ancient accounts and artifacts, we're faced with a question that has haunted humanity for centuries. Could extraterrestrials have played a role in shaping our past? And if so, what does that mean for our future?